I'm not used to these parts of my home county. This is South Nottinghamshire, and in particular, this is Cotgrave Forest. It's only the second time that I've visited Cotgrave Forest. It's well known locally for its population of purple emperor butterflies and a number of other introduced species, or species thought to have been introduced anyway. And one particular species I'm after today. And this shrub here is a clue. It's always strange to me when I visit somewhere that I've either never been to before or maybe only a handful of times. You get used to certain areas, and I certainly have in the Ealing and the Sherwood Forest and other parts of North Nottinghamshire. So South Nottinghamshire is very alien to me, and indeed the woodland here is very different to the type of woodland we have in the Sherwood Forest area. It's almost halfway between the Sherwood Forest woodlands and the type of woodlands there and the woodlands in Leicestershire and Northants, and that might seem daft because I'm pretty much halfway between those two locations and areas anyway, but when you know a site, you know what's likely to be where, or potentially where something's likely to be found. Today I know the exact area where I want to be, and it's just further down there, but this place isn't full of butterfly twitches today. That's purely because it's winter. They don't bother until the spring starts and the first butterflies start to emerge from hibernation, and then they wait. But come here during the summer months mainly to see purple emperor, which is here in good numbers. Origins of the purple emperor are still up for debate amongst the butterflying fraternity in Nottinghamshire, but I think the population here is probably part release, but also part of the natural northward range expansion that the purple emperor has undergone in the last sort of decade or so. But it's not purple emperor that I'm after, because Cotgrave Forest here has been the site of a release of two hairstreaks, brown and latterly black. And it's brown hairstreak which I'm after today, and it's the eggs, and I need to look for those eggs on blackthorn. Potentially that same blackthorn could also hold the eggs of black hairstreak, one of which, at least one, was photographed last year and is the first record for Nottinghamshire, but it's almost certainly the result of an attempted release. So we'll see whether the brown hairstreak remains. It was first seen here as an adult a few years ago, and then last winter Nick and Samantha Brownlee came and were successful in finding a number of eggs, and to find those eggs I need to head downwards and underneath the pylons. Early success. Haven't even got down to where I was really going to look for them, and I found one here. I have photographed the egg and I've checked it because there are slight differences between the eggs of brown hairstreak and black hairstreak. This is brown. I thought I'd have to go down there, but I haven't. This is quite a large blackthorn thicket. I thought it would be too open. I thought they might want to be laying on blackthorn, which is growing more or less at the side of oaks. Apparently not. Well, here's the egg. It's tucked away. Not the most obvious of eggs. Normally brown hairstreaks will lay in the joint of a small sort of twig or side shoot such as this in the main stem. This one has done, but it's tucked in there, just above my nail. Not the most obvious, and made less obvious because there's a little bit of growth of a lichen starting. So at least we found one. This is not the best of brown hairstreak eggs in terms of sighting for photography or videography, but you hopefully can see the egg there and why it's difficult to pick out. But at least we've been met with success, and brown hairstreaks are obviously doing quite well. I'm going to continue my search on this large stand of blackthorn, and we'll see if we can turn up any more, but at least I've not had a wasted trip. Excellent. I do love it when a plan comes to fruition. Well, I have had a quick look along the rest of this section of the blackthorn thicket, but the female has laid to the textbook, because brown hairstreaks prefer to lay on fairly young suckering growth that's moving out and expanding the size of the blackthorn thicket. They're like shoots and growth like this that's 3-4 years old and is fairly young, and this female that laid the egg we found has done exactly that. Well, this is more like the habitat that I would associate with egg-laying brown hairstreaks. Not that I'm an expert in brown hairstreaks, of course. This is the only site in Nottinghamshire where they are, that we know of. I think brown hairstreaks somewhere else in Nottinghamshire. But 3 more eggs, which I'll show you in a minute. 2 are quite green. They've turned green over the winter because they're algae. And for a minute I was almost excited, because that's one of the signs of black hairstreak eggs. They do turn colour, but I photographed them, and the eggs are the beautifully crafted eggs of brown hairstreak. So we've got 3 more eggs, and this is exactly the habitat. Perfect. A blackthorn hedge, mature blackthorn hedge at the back here, and then all this suckering growth is coming forward, and the eggs are on this outermost bit of blackthorn. Excellent. Now you may well be able to make the eggs out. This is the 2 together, and they're here. I'll show you in a little bit more detail in a minute, and I will put a photo in, but you might be able to see them better there. Often laid in 2s, most often singly. Then you may well be able to make out that these do have a slight greenish tint. So 2 brown hairstreak eggs there, and then this single one here tucked away just in the fork of this small outgrowth and the main stem here. Most brown hairstreak eggs, in my experience, are laid on the upper side. You do occasionally get them underneath, but just nice to be successful and find 4. The eggs are only about 0.9 millimeters in diameter, and say beautifully crafted things. They're proper little miracles of nature, brown hairstreak eggs. So we'll see if I can find any more on here. Not looking for brown hairstreak eggs on this. I'm actually looking at the flower buds. In fact, there's 2 flowers already open. the start of another spring. And along here is where brown hairstreak eggs have been found, but those laid on suckering growth that comes out towards this path edge or this track edge are in serious danger, because in order to maintain this track suitable for forestry vehicles, those suckering growths get cut back, so some brown hairstreak eggs will be lost. I was cheeky and nipped over the other side. That's where I just found those other three, but they are here, and they must be elsewhere in parts of Cotgrave Forest too. It is an excellent forest under where these pylons are. It is private property, allegedly, and they're full of flower. It's a good place to come if you want to see silverwash artillery at the height of late summer in Nottinghamshire. But I'm happy with finding 4 brown hairstreak eggs. I will look for some more as I have a wander around here. So, mission accomplished.